Alright, we are just about live. 70 seconds left in the staging phase of this match of round 3 of the group stage between 501E. Here you can see playing as allies on best against Para Bellum, which is Sturm and CIB. First objective is this forest up in the north here. Let's check the map. So we can see first objective will be this northern forest. Obviously the difficulty here is getting across this river for the axis. And then we would have Central, Kirk, and Deud Viver. This is the second match in round 3 between 501E and Para Bellum. Both teams entered this group stage, this round 3 of the group stage, undefeated. 501E having secured 2 big victory points, and Para Bellum secured 1 and had a bye week round 1. And starting things off with a bang. See, Sturm has all their assets already opening fire on the bridge. Fairly safe MSP up here for Para Bellum. .501E sneaking 1 infantryman across the bridge. Got about a squad in defense on the south side here, covering this bridge that can be built. And most of the rest of the team covering the main bridge and this northern crossing up here, with 501E already getting across the bridge, or the crossing I should say, probably putting a rally right down there so they can keep reinforcing the north side. It looks like the bulk of the push is going south for Para Bellum. Taking heavy contact though. All those upside down triangles are casualties. Good positioning on the flak truck though. And it looks like mortar's already coming in on Para Bellum, trying to build that bridge in the south. Take it down here. Just how hard it is to keep fire on the other side of the bridge when that 20 mil is suppressing you. But the mortars are doing their job so far. So we've got 2 tanks, it looks like, from Para Bellum at the start, along with the flak half-track. 501E taking heavy casualties at the bridge here, but it's going to be a tall task to push across. Para Bellum looks like they could make some good headway at this crossing up here, but they're going to have to contend with 501E coming around their rear. We can see the absolute work being done by the mortars in the south here. It's going to be very difficult, near impossible to build this bridge. Gotta figure it's going to have to be a crossing at the main bridge in the middle, or the northern crossing. Para Bellum's going to get across. Take a look what the infantry sees here at the bridgehead. Ooh, big shot there. I think that was a firefly I spotted earlier. Heavy casualties trying to get across this choke point. Let's take a look at what caused that chaos. There's a Churchill. I've said in my previous casts how fond I am of the Churchill. A really good tank. You can take a look at the stats of that later. And I'll show you just why it's so good. Partially though, high amount of HP and the APDS round it gets, even with only a 40mm tank gun. Just the APDS round does a lot of work. It looks like the flak truck went down in the south. So that'll buy 501E some time over here, avoiding some suppression. But it looks like we have mortars from both sides, hitting both sides of this bridge. Not where I would want to be as an infantryman. Cheeky MG spot here. We've got smokes coming across. Looks like Para Bellum might start trying to make a push across this bridge. They have a lot of guys alive right here right now. And we did see the Churchill peeling off a bit. And we do have a few guys across here. That's a very early successful crossing. Well-timed strafe, but only gets one. And if Para Bellum can get a rally up over here, that's going to be huge. And it looks like they might be trying for just that. I can't tell. There's an SL here. Looks like either way, that's not a radio man. But a rally there would be huge. That would be a super early crossing and foothold. And the infantry's starting to just pour across that middle bridge. .501E is holding for now, but we do see a rally is now up on this side of the bridge. That is going to be huge for Para Bellum. Churchill is just sitting idle here. You'd kind of hope that maybe some of the infantry would call out to just start hitting that bridge area with all the infantry pouring across. We do have a dive bomb coming in. Targeting something in the woods over there, maybe just infantry. Not sure. I guess this tank over here was probably up there and backed off when they heard the Stuka, so good awareness there. The armored car. And we can see now just all the infantry that's gotten across from Para Bellum. We have 2 rallies up here now. But 501E's starting to get some infantry a little close. If they can manage to crawl in. Or is that a dead body? That is a dead body. It's like mortars coming close to these rallies now. But just more and more breathing room. We even have a very far up rally here from Para Bellum. And this amount of momentum this early on is huge. Para Bellum did win game 1 in this round. They won by 2 tickets. After 501E captured 2 objectives, so a win from Para Bellum here would be 1 big victory point for them. And even a loss would come down to a tiebreaker on capture points, so if they can capture at least 2 objectives, it would come down to tickets at that point. And 3 objectives and a win or a loss would be a win for them overall. See in the chat, CIB telling Sturm to try to find the enemy mortars because they're doing so much work, especially on that south side. And now Para Bellum sweeping up north, clearing this out. Good bunker placement. That must have been tough to build under fire from logistics here, but good placement there. It's going to help hold down this crossing, but it won't matter if Para Bellum's crawling in their rear. 3 rallies on this side of the bridge. Looks like one just expired or got replaced. Looks like it got replaced, so 3 rallies on this side of the bridge now. And it seems like it's not going to be long until Para Bellum takes this northern forest, so Mortar's doing a great job on the south, and a good hold in the north, but just a spearhead through the middle from Para Bellum. Strong push through smoke from infantry. And CIB wary of the possibility of AT mines on the bridge. Now we can see that there are in fact AT mines at the end of the bridge here. So let's see if some infantry spots this. We got a infantryman coming up right now. Does he spot it? He jumps off the bridge. Not into the water. So it looks like they're smoking, and another rally over here. That's 4 rallies now. And let's see if they can clear out this mine. Statco clears him out. Nice long distance shot from the Sten there. Stens were buffed a few months ago. Much better at range now than they used to be. And we can see they have spotted that AT mine. Gonna dig that down. They can get armor across. That's a good play there. Good awareness from Para Bellum. Gonna have to watch out for friendly fire from the flak over there. But just the amount of pressure near the objective now. You almost have to wonder if it's even worth holding the south anymore, with the objective being so close to being taken here. Very impressive push from Para Bellum. This is much quicker than I expected the first objective to ever be taken. Especially with 501E, a very good team. Definitely a top contender in the EU ladder. But Para Bellum certainly no joke. A win here would have them tied for first in the group stage depending on capture points. Like we may have some tank-on-tank action here at the main bridge with this Churchill looking down. Getting some good hits, it looks like. See if I can get a nice zoom in. Really nice hold-down position from the Para Bellum tank. Very difficult. You can barely see the top of the turret there. Excellent positioning on that armor. And we can see now 501E starting to pull back, realizing the danger. We'll have to see if they can hold on to this objective much longer, but a nice flank coming in here. Second Lieutenant Daniel Walker, T5 Masson. But German armor is across, the Tiger is across, and the Churchill's just out of position here. We'll have to see what kind of support that Tiger's gonna have. Ooh, and Black Truck drives straight up the road into the Churchill's line of sight. Could have been the scout car that got the kill. Cheeky spot for the Tiger getting hits on the Churchill, but Churchill returning the favor. Pretty equal fight between those two. The Tiger can be a little easy to ammo rack, but not from this angle. And a miss there could turn the tide of this fight. Seems like the Churchill's lost visual, not returning fire, and is now backing off. Another hit there from the Tiger. Might have been a bounce. Didn't seem to do much HP damage. Try to keep an eye on that tank battle while keeping the rest of the fight in mind. Good hits on the Churchill, but Tiger's slowly backing off every time, just changing position slightly, so the Churchill has trouble finding its target. So hard to penetrate that Churchill's front armor, though, even with the 88mm. The Churchill missing again. It's so hard to see through those bushes. Gonna have to start landing some shots soon, though. Can't bounce shots forever. And now taking fire from... Can't tell, is this an 88? No, it's a Panzer IV, but it's an early model. I think that's the Panzer IV-D. Gonna have a very difficult time penetrating the Churchill from the front like that, but certainly will make the Churchill think twice about staying there, and you can see it backing off now. We can see Para Bellum infantry pushing further and further into the woods. These woods are not easy to fight in. Lots of trenches to hide in, lots of defilade. Got to clear inch by inch up here. And sneaky riflemen in bushes can pick you off from distance while staying pretty concealed. See MG here trying to hip fire. MG can be deadly hip firing when you get used to it, but that is probably at the end of its effective range hip firing, I'd say. But no doubt its suppression has great effect. And we can see now Para Bellum looks like they finally cleared this northern crossing and can start getting across, and they have a rally in that bunker. It's a nice rally, so using the bunker, using 501E's bunker right up against them. And looks like we did miss the Churchill going down. I would have to imagine that was the Tiger getting that kill. Looks like an MSP went down as well. And if we look at the tickets in the top right, we can see Para Bellum has 322, 501E 327, so very even on the tickets. I'm sure taking out that Churchill was a big help. You gotta figure infantry attrition is gonna be a little worse for Para Bellum while they're trying to cross the river, but now that they're across and the tickets are pretty even, should be a fairly even fight, and I feel like a lot of it's going to come down to armor trades. We can see now Para Bellum starting to clear out the south a little bit on the mainland. Haven't crossed over yet. Probably no need to. 501E is now holding quite firm. Finally reestablished a defensive line here. Still 25 minutes left, though, for them to cap the first point. It's going to be pretty difficult to hold this for 25 minutes now that they're across the bridges. And I believe every rally except this one is now on the far side of the river. And I wonder what's going on with this guy over here, Lieutenant Jake Sullivan. He's got a rifle, could be a logistics, maybe AT logistics trying to plant mines on the road. Not sure, not a sapper without a Sten. So maybe he was able to get a mine down on the main road, cause some havoc there. Not sure what other things he could be doing to have effect at this point. Possibly maybe getting eyes, seeing what kind of armor comes out of main. That intel could be useful. Apologies for keeping the names up. Sometimes it gets a little cluttered when I do that. Very nice to see all the mortars used by both sides, something that I felt wasn't used enough in some of the previous matches I casted. See Cox here from CIB trying to clear these trenches. How hard it is to see in this forest. You see all of the red triangles over there, and I think we only saw 1 or 2 infantry the whole time. Very difficult area to push, but also hard to defend for the same reason. Good flank by a Bren gunner over here. Commander artillery called over here. Could possibly get this rally down with a good hit. I was real close on that one. If not, there's some Para Bellum infantry here that could take that out with a frag if they push up. Rally survives the shelling, being in the defilade here. Sometimes the triangles get a little messed up, as you can see. Usually the blue triangles would be one team, red the other, but we can see sometimes they're messed up. Upside down triangles are supposed to indicate downed members, but it doesn't always work properly. Let's see, good spotting there from the MP40 Muddler. Looks like they didn't take out the rally. Rally must have been repositioned. Must have seen that it was hot on the map. We did see in text chat a moment ago orders for Para Bellum to clear out the cap, not just stay in it, but push through it and clear it. Because there's a lot of 501E infantry in here, so just sitting on the cap isn't going to get you the objective. But we can see over time more and more blue triangles moving into the objective area. We are right on the objective, and we can see that it's neutral now. So it looks like this will go to Para Bellum. I haven't had the fortune of playing with 11 CIB or 501E, but played my fair share of matches with Sturm. They're excellent marksmen, and I don't mean just with the marksman rifle, just with anything. They can hit you from distance, and they're very accurate. Very smart players as well. From what I've seen though, 501E very much the same, and today you can see 11 CIB also proving that they're top tier. So very good matchup, very competitive, excellent players, excellent teams. I do question the decision to still have infantry up here. I guess they really don't want this bridge built. It would give a nice launching point for any attacks on further objectives, but they are conceding a bit of manpower that could be holding the objective. But if Para Bellum ignores that the rest of the game, that's more or less a squad left doing nothing. And another Churchill up here. Looks like they took down the Tiger. I missed that. So a little revenge still there, and we can see that reflected in the tickets. Now Para Bellum 30 tickets behind. They'll need to win the next armor engagement to stay on track. You can see now General Lieutenant Eric telling his team that they need to push past the cap, not let 501E in. It's nice to see those orders coming through text chat. Sometimes your squad leads have too much going on to relay those orders to their squads. Also helps us in the sky see what kind of communication is going on within the team. Having played against and with Eric before, he's a very capable leader. See the Churchill's taking some damage up here, pulling back. Can't quite tell what the damage was from. Could have been infantry AT. Or could have been from the engagement with the Tiger. And 501E is pushing right back into the objective, so very back and forth, fierce fighting in this forest. I will say this forest is probably one of the best forests in the Chapter 1 maps. Lots of defilade and bushes, shrubbery, logs. You don't see that in a lot of the Chapter 1 forests, especially on the larger maps. Nice grenadier shot there. Looks like that was from Trigger. Again, forcing that infantryman to slow down there with the rifle grenade. P40 doesn't quite see the guy. Ooh, that, I feel like that might have been a team kill. And a trade there. Gammon bomb thrown, but it looks like no damage done. Ooh, that wasn't a trade. But now he's dead. You can see the fierce fighting in these trenches in the woods here. So many choke points if you want to stick to cover. See Sturm starting to get frustrated from the 501E mortars, and they have been firing very consistently. See if we can take a look at 501E's logistics, see how they're choosing to run that. See, the objective itself is still neutral and almost everyone dead on the objective. Just such fierce back and forth fighting. Churchill trying to lock this bridge down. Not sure if he's shooting at anything in particular. Possibly there was armor up here that backed off. So Para Bellum logistics setting up more mortars. Still such a stalemate on the objective itself, but we can see 501E starting to pull ahead a little more in tickets now. 40 up now. And at this rate, you might see the tickets bleed before time runs out even on the first objective. Para Bellum's gonna have to start draining tickets. They're definitely not gonna win on capture points here. We can see in text chat there just how effective these mortars are. Like Para Bellum's starting to control the objective a little more now. Unfortunately, we cannot see the status of the cap, only if it's neutral. We can see how close it is to a full cap. Decent grenadier shot there. Trigger again. I am curious to see how many riflemen they have in the squad. I think the meta right now is 5-man squads with only 1 rifleman as an ammo bearer. Yeah, it looks like a lot of 5 or 6-man squads for Para Bellum at least. So it does limit the ammo bearing capability, but of course you do get more specialist fits on a team level. And Para Bellum has capped Northern Forest. So now this next objective is going to play a huge part. Because even if they lose, if they're able to get this second objective, it could be worth it for tiebreakers down the road. This scout car being aggressive is probably not a great idea. Yep, and there we go. Goes down. So that's good for Para Bellum, closing the ticket gap a little bit. Very questionable play there from 501E with that scout car. Not sure what they saw over here that made them think it was worth diving like that. Now this is where it's going to get more difficult for 501E to use their armor, I think, as they get pushed back and have to hold angles in town. The infantry can be more effective against it. We're going to see what kind of angles the armor can find on both sides to be effective. We can see there were 2 AT guns here, but got taken out. Not sure by what. Most of the push is coming from the north side here. Can be difficult with the open ground, but you do have height advantage and these trenches to utilize. And it looks like it's working pretty well for now. 501E hasn't gotten set up on this flank yet. Starting to set up in this house now. And is that Para Bellum in the church tower? Or is that a triangle gone haywire? That is in fact Para Bellum. Got a marksman in the church tower. Snuck that up here. We'll see what kind of damage he can get done before he gets run up on. I have noticed it's very difficult to hear footsteps coming up this tower when you're on top. Not a lot he can see here. Looks like he might have got the guy on the roof. And yeah, we can see he goes down to a sten there. Like I said, it's very difficult to hear footsteps coming up that tower. Para Bellum pushing in well and rapidly closing in that ticket gap. Getting positions on some key roofs here. There are many roofs in this town you can get on the roof of, as you can see here. I feel like Best is a map that is so good for competitive play. mostly when it comes from the other direction. Crossing that river is usually a bit of a stopper there. But the rest of the map has some very interesting objectives that I just feel like they don't get played out right in a lot of public matches. But you can see some very intense urban fighting in the small town here. Both AA positions are good objectives to play on. The church, so very good objectives, just doesn't get the proper play in pub matches, I feel. I don't think they've spotted the rally over here. Might just be working on the revive first. I think that should be close enough to deactivate the rally. You have someone sneaking around, see if they clear it out.
Enemy running?
Yep, and the rally is spotted.
I have no more nades. Do you have nades? There's one on the roof here.
You misheard that rifle. It's a little hard to tell. Nice headshot there. And it looks like they repositioned the rally. But nice shot by Sturm Sweetness. Come on. We can see Para Bellum estimating that they're losing tickets by 50 to 100. Was a lot closer than that a moment ago. Must have lost some more armor there. Or a lot of infantry casualties, possibly. But Para Bellum taking this church area, which is going to be a great spot to push from. And now securing all the high ground on the north side of the objective. And if we take a look, see exactly where that objective is. In this little courtyard here. If 501E collapses their defenses as they get pushed, this can be a very tough area to take. The hardest part though is keeping the rallies up when that happens. To see how Para Bellum chooses to play this, since they suspect they're down on tickets. But lost a lot of infantry right there to a good push from 501E. Good frags in return from Para Bellum. Tickets are pretty close, but definitely still in the lead for 501E. Guys can hear each other over the wall, but a good frag. I think that must have been from Sergeant Simon Wayand. Yeah, we can see burning wreckage of a tank here. Probably what lost those tickets that put him down even further. That's Tiger facing the wrong way, probably trying to get back across the bridge for some repairs. Spotted by something down the road, probably that Churchill again. So Para Bellum's gonna need to take pretty good armored engagement if they want to come back in this. Going to be very difficult to trade that well in infantry in the meantime. And it looks like 501E may have just abandoned using tanks for that very reason. Don't want to risk the tickets, and it's going to be hard to use in the town anyway. We'll have to see if that pays off. Sure, they can't lose the tickets now from losing a tank, but if Para Bellum decides to use a tank, it can be very effective against the infantry.
Just went down. He's down.
So get up this guy. Falcon.
Move. Over the wall.
Good spot by the Bren. If he can hold that angle. Ooh, but nice frag and a nice shot there by Jam Falcon. You can see the kind of coordination here on a squad level from Stern in particular. The communication, covering fire, frags. Of course, they don't know that the Bren was the only guy here and he's dead, but it's the kind of thing you need to watch out for, especially in these competitive matches. You just don't know.
Fuck you! How'd you like it now?
Go on it.
So some good engagements there from Para Bellum, but that ticket gap is not getting any smaller. It's getting down to the point where they might start telling their guys not to give up. Wait for medics, wait till you bleed out. You just don't know how many tickets the enemy has. Not getting it, and it get an interesting 1v1 over here between Lieutenant Jake Sullivan and the Patriarchy. The Patriarchy is one of the best marksmen that I've met in the game. And again, I'm not talking about with a marksman rifle, just with a regular iron sight bolt action rifle. And funny enough, they don't see each other. And there we see the message from Zalfin, no more giving up. So down to 32 tickets. They're gonna have to trade incredibly well here. Good flank here from the Patriarchy. Might get kills, might trade well enough, but everyone on Para Bellum is going to have to trade incredibly well as the Patriarchy goes down. "16 minutes on the clock. I doubt we'll see the end of that. Para Bellum's gonna need a miracle now, I think, to bring this one back. Still very impressed with their early push, but in the end just lost too many tickets. That Tiger at the end definitely hurt them, losing that. Something over here. Not sure how they found that out. Maybe some good eyes from the church tower. I'm not sure if you can see all the way out there. Possibly. I don't want to say even that's a lucky guess. That would have been a little too lucky. Not sure how they got that intel, but and we can see just the massive amount of mortars from 501E. I'd be very interested to see how many kills the Mortarmen got in this match. Those 4-inch mortars, looks like. Just such great range on those. And best being a very small map, they're able to set those up very close to their base, get supplies here quickly, keep these mortars supplied. Looks like a rally there for any mortarmen that go down. And Para Bellum now down to 8 tickets. All but a GG at this point, but it was a GG. Very impressed with their initial push across the river, just also a very good hold from 501E in the northern forest. Very intense and fierce fighting. So So it looks like neither team will get a big victory point here, but 501E will walk away with 2 capture points from the last match, and Para Bellum will walk away with 1 from this match here. Still a very impressive match, very difficult map to push on. And I'm looking forward to watching more matches from these teams, 2 very good teams. And down to 2 tickets now. Now Para Bellum won the last match with only 2 tickets, so you never know how many tickets the other team has. But with 1 now, we'll call that a GG. Very fun match to cast. Good plays from both teams.